Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me here. This video is meant for an introduction to the program that I've been creating with the title of Righteousness. In this video, I just wanted to explain to you what the program is about, what it's for, how you can use it, and just a little explanation of the reason why I did it. The word righteousness is quite a long and religious sounding word. And if you're a new believer, or maybe you've yet to give your life to the Lord, you may be wondering what it's all about. I just wanted to make it clear at the outset that I'm in no way implying that I think that I'm righteous. I'm in no way implying that I could be righteous, or that I claim to be any better than anybody else, or I claim that you can be better than anybody else. That's certainly not what I'm implying here. 2 Corinthians 5 verse 21 says that he who knew no sin became sin for us, that we might become the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus, that we might become the righteousness of God in him, the one who hung on the cross, who is Jesus. You see, when Jesus died on the cross, what happened was that God put the whole world's sin upon him, and that's what killed him on the cross. The sin of the whole world, everybody who ever lived from Adam until now, their sin, their wrongdoing, the punishment for their wrongdoing was put upon Jesus, and he died on the cross. You see, we're not sinners because we sin. We're sinners because we inherited the sin nature from Adam. We were born sinners. We don't become sinners by what we do or not do. We were actually born with the sin nature. And there's not much we can do about it. The sin nature causes us to sin. But in the same way, when we give our lives to the Lord and put our faith and trust in him and what he's done for us, his righteousness nature becomes ours. That was the whole idea of what he did on the cross, that he would become sin for us so that we might be able to take on his righteousness nature. So when we're born again, it's not that we never sin again. We do still sin. It's just that God will not punish us for that sin. We don't have to go to hell for that sin. We go straight to heaven if we've given our life to Jesus. So even though we still sin, what's happening is because we now have the nature of righteousness, we start to grow and learn in righteousness. We start to change our thoughts, our feelings, our attitudes, our perceptions. They all begin to take on a different shape because we have been given the righteousness of God. One of the things that I explained in one of the first videos I did on this program was that even though I understood for 3 decades about what Jesus had done for me on the cross and that I was now the righteousness of God in him, I didn't fully understand it. I held it in my conscious mind as a theology, and at the appropriate times I would say the appropriate things around that subject. But it wasn't a lifestyle, simply because I spent so many years still in guilt and shame, and I didn't understand what fully in my heart what Jesus had done for me. And so it didn't really change my life in the way that it should have done. As a result of coming to that realization, I decided to do a lengthy study, though I don't like to call it study because that puts people off. But I did a lengthy exploration of the whole subject of righteousness and what that means for me, what it means for me day to day, and not just in a spiritual sense, what it means for my lifestyle and not just a theology. I gave myself the goal of doing this exploration for 63 days. Science tells me that we grow thought patterns when we think of the same thing every day for around 9 weeks, then we're growing in our brains an understanding of a certain subject or a certain theme. It could be in the negative. It could be when you're thinking badly about somebody every day for 9 weeks, you begin to grow a thought pattern of real hurt and offense and unforgiveness for that person. But you can also do the same in the positive, where you want to get a study or an understanding or a revelation of a certain theme of anything. You can think on that thing and build on that thing for only a few minutes every single day. For around 9 weeks, you begin to develop in your subconscious the whole understanding, and it becomes more of an automated response and a lifestyle within you. So that's why I chose to do this for around 9 weeks. And that's why I chose to do this at all. I call it my building the spirit of my mind kind of project. So for me, this was kind of an experiment. And in a way, you could use it too. That's why I've put it here, so that you can have a little go at it yourself. It may be that you just wouldn't know what to do on a certain subject or out of the Bible for 63 days. So you're quite welcome to follow along with me. So that's why I put it online for you to take a look at. It's a bit like a sneak peek into my daily discipleship devotional Bible study that I do each morning. What it is as well, it's a daily drip feed on the same subject. My hope is that you may be able to use it for yourself as a discipleship program. So there are short videos for each day, and there are also notes. The notes have come more or less word for word out of my journal, but I have edited some of them a wee bit just so that they are easier to read and understand. You also may find there's a little bit of repetition each day, and there's a reason for that too, because you're building. I'm building. I was building on knowledge. I was building bit by bit, like putting one brick on top of the other, but each brick overlaps the one before it. And that's good for getting understanding and getting real depth of revelation into you about a certain subject. So be my guest and hop onto the path that I've already trodden and see how you get on. Perhaps it will be the springboard that you've been looking for to deepen your journey of discipleship. I do hope that you're going to give it a go.